What's up, YouTube? What up, friends and fam? It's your fucking boy. Let's get it. Shit. Where do I start this? I was just thinking, man, I need to hop on this YouTube channel. Here I am in my brand new 2-bedroom apartment that I just rented. I was thinking back when I started this YouTube journey. My first video was me in my car heading to a farm. Technically, I was homeless, even though I had somewhere to go to, somewhere to live. But no lease in my name or anything like that. And then some of you hopped on the message right then and there because it was about truck driving. So to all my day ones, I appreciate you, and I hope you can implement this message into your daily life. But man, here we are in the new 2-bedroom. I'll give you a tour at a later date when it's all set up, but right now it's a fucking mess. I just moved everything up to the 2-bedroom. So your boy went from having no apartment in his name ever. There was one time I had an apartment in my name when I used to smoke crack and do drugs. I should have never had an apartment in my name back then, but that's for a different story. That was the only time I've ever had an apartment in my name. That was when I was like 19 or 20 or 21, something like that. Now 8 years later, here's your boy in fucking Providence having 2 leases in his name, everything in his name. You know what I'm saying? We're just looking up and never looking back down, because looking back down is pretty fucking scary. So keep looking up. Don't never look back down. And just keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Keep implementing these messages. I'll be telling y'all, like, it's like, this shit's like real deal, like coming up on some shit. Like eventually I'll be mentoring people. I don't feel comfortable mentoring people yet. I'll always feel comfortable taking your money, but I don't feel comfortable like mentoring you about how do you live your life until I'm at the level that I see myself at. So until I'm at that level, I'm not gonna ever mentor nobody. I'm just gonna keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Got a lot of shit going on, a lot of good shit. I just talked to a customer today. This guy blew my mind, man. He like really made my fucking day, because he was speaking what's on my mind when I think of things. Because we did a tree job for him. Go to my page if you want to see the before and after, my Facebook or my Instagram. But I'm talking about a huge ass tree, like 100 foot or 150 feet, like huge. Like motherfucker was like 6 different trees all in one. But we did it in 2 days, and that's with the 2-man crew. I wasn't even doing any of the physical labor. I did the physical labor for a couple hours the first day, and that was it. So I like those numbers when we can do a big ass tree like that and it only takes 2 days, because we're looking at some good money there. All right, let's touch base on diet real quick, because we haven't touched base on this in a while. Lately, your boy's been eating gluten-free and dairy-free for the most part, because Rachel, my girlfriend, is lactose intolerant and has a gluten allergy. So I've been switching over, and since I switched over, I do feel like less bogged down, less tired. Like I just ate 2 peanut butter and jellies with gluten in it. I feel like my throat is kind of squeezing up. That's why I had to stop, because I just had to go hock a loogie. So when you get these inflammation in your throat and you gotta like hock a loogie, that's because the food you ate is not good for you. So listen to your fucking body. When people say listen to your body in that way. Like the reaction to the food. Okay, this food made me get tense in my throat. I could barely breathe. I had to hock up loogies just to breathe. Like, stay away from that shit, man. That shit's like your body's telling you, hey, we gotta detox now because you ate this shit and it's really fucking us up. So when it leads to inflammation, you want to stay the fuck away from inflammation at all times, because inflammation leads to depression, anxiety, a whole bunch of other disorders that you'll think that you have an actual fucking problem. Like you really will think you have like autism or some shit. I know it because I've been there. I've been so inflamed that I was just thinking ridiculous thoughts. Like lately I've been a little bit inflamed because I have been eating out a lot. So that's a lot of salt, even though we've been keeping it gluten-free and dairy-free, which is big. That's a big part of inflammation is those two. But sodium levels, you want to stay the fuck away from high sodium. You want to stay like if you're like a guy, you want to stay within like 1,500 to 2,000. I'd say 2,500 milligrams a day of sodium if you want to keep your inflammation down because of mental health or just mental clarity. Keep it way the fuck under 2,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Same thing with sugar. So sugar, you want to keep a processed sugar to start. You want to keep under 30 grams of processed sugars per day to make your inflammation go fucking way down. Like, yes, there is sugar in fruits and vegetables, or in fruits mainly. There's a lot of sugar in fruits. So you do have to be careful. If you eat a lot of fruits, your sugar levels are gonna spike. But I'd rather you have a banana than have like a sugary soda. Look up the grams in a banana. I think it's like 9 grams or something, which is a lot. But start with like 30 grams or less of processed sugar, and then say 50 grams or less of actual sugar from fruit. And I'm not talking about juice either. Stay the fuck away from juice. All juices except water and coffee, just stay away from juice. It's just added calories, it's added inflammation. It's probably gonna add to your inflammation, like without a doubt. Unless you're juicing it and it's vegetables, then that cools the inflammation down. But if you buy it from the store, it has sugar in it, it's processed. The big companies are doing all these things to us to inflame us, so then they think, then they make you think a certain way, so you buy their medicine. Like, for example, this whole COVID thing, I'm not saying it's completely because of this, but maybe it's just because they wanted to sell this vaccine to millions and millions and millions of people, because maybe like something to do with Bitcoin or some shit. Like, this shit's like for real. Like, the big companies all are friends. Just like poor people are friends, rich people are friends too. So the richest people in the world, without a fucking doubt, they're friends. Like, if you're a multi-fucking billionaire, like, don't you think you're only gonna be friends with the other multi-billionaires? Like, it's just common sense. So the people that own the fucking big-ass food companies, they want to inflame you so they can sell their friends' products. That's the medicine companies. Or they're owned by the same people. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. Not fucking rocket science. But you got to beat the system. You got to become the system to beat the system. And then once you are the system, you can get through it, man. Like, I had the most inflamed body there was. I never got no x-rays or anything like that. But I'm talking your brain inflames, all your organs inflame, your blood vessels inflame. Everything fucking inflames. So that's why you go crazy in your head. So stay away from inflammation, foods that inflame you. And do your research, man. Take some supplements that bring the inflammation down. I really feel like being in love with somebody really brings your inflammation down because you feel way better. Little things like that. Friends, they make you feel the inflammation down. But if you don't have friends right now and you don't think you can get new friends that are positive, that's okay. Just go inward and focus on your diet and focus on your reading. One way to do it is spend time with somebody that you admire, you want to model. Like, say, if you want to be the next Mark Wahlberg, like, go ahead and get his autobiography and study the shit out of him, because when you're reading his book, it's kind of like you're right here with him because he wrote the shit. You know what I mean? If he didn't write it, he told the writer what to write, and the writer wrote it in his accent and all that. So just go ahead and whoever you follow, whoever you want to be like, if your life is shitty right now, pick up their book and read it, fucking study it, and model what they do. It's not that hard. Just like I've modeled other companies that have seen before me. Like, for example, Lorcan. I used to work for Lorcan up in Boston. Pink and Green, where I used to work as a landscaper down there. I pretty much combined the two, and I'm like a combo of the two, more like Lorcan because we're smaller, but we have a work ethic like Pink and Green. See, Pink and Green was one of those landscape companies that hired illegals and just fucked them over. Like, just like most companies will, like, they'll hire illegals and just fuck them over. Like, I don't believe in that shit. I believe in karma. I believe in treating everybody equally. If you're gonna work harder than the next guy, I'm gonna pay you more, no matter what the fuck color your skin is, no matter where you're from. I don't care. I think you believe, like, I believe in karma, like I said, and you believe you deserve top dollar. You know what I mean? Like, if you have more equipment, I'm gonna give you $300 a day instead of the $250. Like, right now, my guys are getting $250 a day each. They're climbers, and that's on the low end. It's like, some people are like, you're paying them too much. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm paying them too little, if anything, because I'm not going high enough in the quotes. But once they get their own chainsaws and shit, it's 300, you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. But anyways, love y'all. Peace out. Please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for a tour once I'm all done packing.